Okay, a mother for Choco, take 2. Choco was a little bird who lived all alone. He wished he had a mother, but who could his mother be? One day he set off to find her. First, Choco met Mrs. Giraffe. "Oh, Mrs. Giraffe," he cried, "you are yellow just like me. Are you my mother?" "I'm sorry," sighed Mrs. Giraffe, "but I don't have wings like you." Next, Choco met Mrs. Penguin. "Oh, Mrs. Penguin," Choco cried, "you have wings just like me. Are you my mother?" "I'm sorry," sighed Mrs. Penguin, "but I don't have big round cheeks like you." Then Choco met Mrs. Walrus. "Oh, Mrs. Walrus," he cried, "you have big round cheeks just like me. Are you my mother?" "Now look," grumped Miss Walrus, "I don't have striped feet like you, so don't bother me." That wasn't so nice. And that made Choco feel really sad. No matter where he searched, he couldn't find his mother. When Choco saw Mrs. Bear picking apples, he knew she couldn't be his mother. Mrs. Bear didn't look like him at all. Choco was so sad he started to cry. "Mommy, Mommy, I need a mommy." Mrs. Bear came running to see what was the matter. As she listened to Choco's story, she sighed. "Oh dear, if you had a mommy, what would she do?" "Oh, I'm sure she would hold me," sobbed Choco. "Like this?" asked Mrs. Bear, and she held Choco very tight. "Yes, and I'm sure she would kiss me too," said Choco. "Like this?" asked Mrs. Bear, and she lifted Choco high in the sky and gave him a big kiss. "Yes, and I'm sure she would sing and dance with me to cheer me up," said Choco. "Like this?" asked Mrs. Bear, and they sang and they danced together. When they stopped to rest, Mrs. Bear turned to Choco and said, "Choco, maybe I could be your mother." "You?" Choco cried. "But you aren't yellow, and you don't have wings or big round cheeks or striped feet like me." "My goodness," said Mrs. Bear, "that would make me look very funny." Choco thought it was funny too. See them laughing? Look at that, how she would look like that. So silly. "Well," said Mrs. Bear, "my other children are waiting for me at home. Why don't you join us for apple pie, Choco?" Apple pie sounded wonderful to Choco, so off they went. When they arrived, Mrs. Bear's other children rushed out to greet her. "Choco," said Mrs. Bear, "meet Hippie, Allie, and Piggy. I am their mother too." The sweet smell of apple pie and the sound of laughter soon filled Mrs. Bear's home. After their delicious treat, Mrs. Bear gave all her children a big, warm bear hug. And Choco was very happy that his new mommy looked just the way she did. Oh, so sweet. If you're with your mommy and daddy, why don't you turn around and give them a big hug, just like Mrs. Bear and her children. And I'll see you tomorrow, friends.